Hi everyone, welcome to RunSignup 101. We're gonna go ahead and get started because we have a lot to cover in a short period of time. So let's work through this. I'm sorry, I'm moving my little notification thing. Let's get started on RunSignup 101. And now I'm having malfunction. Here we go. I want to introduce myself first. My name is Whitney Taylor. I am a senior account manager here at RunSignup. I'm going to be with you through this entire webinar. Please get your questions ready, but don't ask them until the end of the webinar. We'll see if we have some time for some Q&A. And if we don't have time and we can't get to them, then we will definitely get to you individually. So please listen and get curious because we're going to dive into this. So what we're going to learn today is we are first going to learn how to create our race. On RunSignup, we call it a race. However, it could be a trail run, a road race, a ride, a cycling event, triathlon, a festival, CrossFit competition, essentially anything that you want to have people sign up and participate with. The next thing we're going to do is walk through a 7-step race wizard that we use on RunSignup to get your race ready to go and ready to launch. The third thing will be the fully customized race site. So once we've gone through the race wizard, you will be able to really hone in and customize that race site to look exactly the way you want. And last but not least, we're going to touch on a little bit of the promotional features that we have on our platform and provide you some resources of where you can learn more about that. So our race wizard, again, it's a simple 7-step process, and we're actually going to do a demo to walk through how that works. I wanted to first show you the pre-step of getting into that race wizard, and that would be going to www.runsignup.com. That's going to bring you to our RunSignup website, where you will see an image just like the one that you see on this screen that says create a race or schedule a demo. You'll want to click create a race. If you have an account already with RunSignup, it's going to either ask you to log in or it's going to pop you into the first step of the race wizard. If you don't have an account, it's going to ask you to create an account, and then once you have that account created, you will be put into that first step of the race wizard. And before we jump into that first step, I just want to talk about the 7 steps that we are going to go through really quick. So I'm going to give you a very basic overview and then we will dive in. So the first step is going to be your standard information. The second step is going to be your events. We call them events. It could be something as categories like a 5K, a 10K, or it could be a swim clinic, or maybe it's a race wave that you're using, or a cycling event. The third step is going to be your registration, where you will put in your pricing and you'll answer some of the questions that you want to see on your race registration process. The fourth step is your giveaway. Maybe that's a t-shirt or a coffee cup, but that's where we'll talk through how you do that. Your fifth step is going to be where you start creating that page. Your sixth step is the payments. That is highlighted in pink because it's extremely important. It's the one step that is going to tell you whether or not you can go live with your race or you need to wait. If you don't put your payment information in there, you will not be able to have a live race. You must have payment information to collect funds for your registration. And last but not least, again, the promotions, which we will cover quickly. Now we're going to dive into the demo. So going into the demo, you'll see, I want to show you again, this is the first RunSignup page that you're going to get to. I'm logged in as me, Whitney. So this is my little logo. So when I click create a race, it's actually going to bring me to the first page of the race wizard, which we are going to dive into right now. And here we are on the first page of the race wizard. So you'll see here, you're going to enter in your race name, your race description, if you have one, the location of your race, You can put contact information. If you want emails to go directly to someone that come from RunSignup, you can put these emails in. You can put your email in here. You can also put in an external race URL. So if you have another website outside of RunSignup for your race, you can place that in here. And if you have a Facebook page for your race, you want to put that in here as well. We'll continue down where you're going to start setting up your events. So this is going to be your 5K, your 50-mile ride, your triathlon relay. That's what you're going to put in these event names right up here. You can then select the type. So I chose run or walk. However, you can select it. Technically, the quick setup 5K, 10K should be other because it's more talking about the race, but I put run or walk. You could put anything you really like. You can then set up your start time, which should be the start of your specific event. So for instance, with a 5K, maybe it starts at 7, but the half marathon is going to start at 7:30. You want to be specific of when those start. They don't all start at the same time, unless they do. You don't have to put an end time. You can if you'd like. It's up to you. And you'll see here where you can move your events. So now my track 102 has moved up. I'm going to move my track 101 back up. And then on the last thing on this page right here is the copy to all events. So you can click on this to copy your start time to all of your other events if you'd like. And you'll see the big add another event. This is where you can just add an additional event, and you'll hit the trash can if you do not want it. Moving down to the last section, the processing fees. This is where you're going to choose whether or not your registrant is going to incur those processing fees or you will incur those processing fees. You also have the ability to split them. You can turn on donations on this page, and all that's going to do is just turn on the donations. You're actually going to have to build the donation page once you get out of the wizard. And if you have a timer that works with RunSignup, it's super easy to link them. You would just type in their information here, it would pop them up, and you could add that timer. If you're not ready to have your race go live immediately after setting this up, well, essentially, it's not going to go live until your payments are complete. However, you can uncheck the save as draft, and once your payment has been verified, it will immediately go live. So you would want to save as draft if you want to keep your race in draft mode. I'm ready for it to go live, so I'm just going to click save and continue. Moving on to the next step, we have our event information, which this is more of an advanced page from the first page that you saw. So you still have your event name, your type, your start time, etc. We have this distance now where you can add a distance for your specific event. So if it's a half marathon, I could put 13.1 miles in there. And this is very important to note. If you are doing a corrals or calculating race time based off of pace, you must have this distance in here to be able to do that, or it cannot calculate your race distance, your race time based off of your pace. So that is a really good side note to know. We also have this age calculation base date. This is mostly used for USAT sanctioned events where you're going to want to put that 12/31/2020 so that it's based off of the end of the year. And last but not least, we do have this free event section right here. So you can set your event to be a free event. So this is going to answer that question for anybody that's asked, because we get asked often, can we use this and set up a free event? Yes, you can. You would just click free event. And as you can see, we're scrolling down. I've already clicked that here. So I'm going to unclick it and we'll click it. It's going to ask you and warn you that you're clicking that and saying you want a free event. So you're going to close the warning, accept that you want it to be free. And now you have, well, now I have 2 free events. So moving on from the event page, we're going to save and continue. We're now on step 3 of the race wizard. On step 3 is the registration periods where you're going to add your pricing tiers. So you'll see here, I have two separate pricing tiers, one for 50 and one for 70. To add additional pricing tiers, you just click add another period. Now you want to make sure that your registration close date does not match the registration open date, but that it follows it. You will get a warning sign if you don't have them matching up properly. You can also go in and modify multiple events at once. So you can click this, you can select any event that you want. So let's say we select 2, and you can add your registration periods, and that will then copy those to every single event that you have selected. We also have the registration options that are below your event. You have the ability to upload a paper registration form. You can set maximum caps on the event specifically. You can limit it by age, by gender. You can also create this as a private event. So if you create this as a private event, for example, I put test in here, I now, and if I save this, I now have a private event. So my track 101 is going to be private and will not display on my race page. But if I use this specific link, this specific URL here, and add equals test, then I will be able to send that link to somebody and they will be able to register for this race. So it's great if you have, let's say, an event that you just want for sponsors or charities, etc. You can send them that specific link for them to get into that event only. You also have the ability to make some of the standard questions that we usually have default as required to unrequired. So let's say you don't really care to get the address, city, and state. You can uncheck those boxes and those will not be required in the registration process. And this is the same for every single race, every single event that we have. On the last section of your step 3 registration, you can choose to update your waiver. We default to having our standard RunSignup waiver. All you need to do to change that is you would highlight all this information, you can delete it, and you can add your own personal waiver or the waiver that you use for your race. We're going to save and continue and move on to step 4. So on step 4 of the Race Wizard, we have our giveaways. Our giveaways will default essentially to no. So when you get to this page, it's going to look just like this. If you'd like to add a giveaway, such as a t-shirt, a coffee mug, a visor, you would click yes. It's then going to drop down a section where you can choose to add your description, a specific date if you want to end, let's say you want to stop collecting t-shirts on like 3 weeks before your race. You would put that date in here and the giveaway won't show anymore. You can also put a taxable item code on the giveaway if you're going to be charging something or shipping it out. I'm not going to get into what this taxable item code means. We have an entire section on sales tax on runsignup.com. We also have a ton of blog posts on sales tax. So if you are looking for resources with that, go ahead and check those out. You can add, for the giveaway, you can also add an image right here. Anything that you'd like, you can upload. It's one image though, so be certain that it's one image that you upload into there. The last piece would be adding your options. Let's say if you have a t-shirt. Now these are just the default options that you get when you put in t-shirt or t-shirt as a default. You can add, we're going to add another option. We're going to add a small sweatshirt. So instead of somebody selecting to get a small t-shirt, they could select to get a small sweatshirt. And we want to charge them $10 additional for getting that small sweatshirt. So you can add fees to your giveaway if you'd like. Or maybe you don't want to offer a shirt because you want to be environmentally friendly. So we go no shirt and you could do -5, and that is actually going to deduct $5 from their registration. So it's pretty neat. So we can go down here and you'll see that none of the other races right now, and none of the other events have a giveaway. However, if I go to copy to other events, I can select these other events and I can copy my giveaway that I just created to all of my other events. And now you see that my giveaway is listed under all of my events. So we're going to move on from the giveaways to our race page. This is a very bare minimum, basically creating the foundation of your race page. Later on in the webinar, we're going to get into how you can really get in and customize your race page 100%. But on this step 5 of the Race Wizard, what you can do is upload a logo. So I've already uploaded a logo. However, you can choose from our default logos that we have here. You also want to go ahead and update a race banner image. One thing I want to really drive home with the race banner image is that it must be 1200 by 400 exactly. If it's a little off, let's say 1201 by 400, it's not going to upload. You must upload it a 1200 by 400 image into this race banner. So there are many, many free tools that you can find online to do that. If you have a Mac, I know that will resize it for you. Canva is also another really good option. Once you get that race banner in there, you can go ahead and you can select whether or not you want the directions to show, contact form. This is basically just kind of customizing your race page a little bit. And as you can see, we default to event for your specific events listed under your race. Well, because mine are tracks that people can join, I changed the track, whether or not that be a ride or a clinic or a trail run, you can put whatever it is that you want in here. And now we're moving on to the payments. Now this payment page is very important, and I've already linked my payment account to my race. So I'm gonna unlink it so I can show you what that looks like and how you would set up a new account, payment account. So we're gonna go down here to the first step where it's telling RunSignup about you. Basically about the person that is going to be setting up that payment account. You're going to need to enter in some personal information in here so that we can know that you are a human and that you own a physical payment account. Now, if it's not you that's setting up this payment account, you can also send an email to the person that needs to set up the payment account, or you can select to set up later and you can reach out to that person and let them know that they need to come into the race to set up their payment account. You would enter in your information here, and then the next step is selecting who you're going to pay or who we're going to pay, whether that be yourself, the business entity, a 501c3, public schools, or other government entities. This is where you need to tell RunSignup who we're paying. And for the final step, informing us how much money you guys think you're going to be transacting through RunSignup. And once you get all that information in there, it's going to allow you to move to the final step. So I'm going to move back up here and link my payment account again, just so that we can move on to that final step. So now we're on step 7 of the Race Wizard, our final step. We've done it all. My race page is live because my payment information is in there. If it wasn't, it would be pending until we verify your payment account. That is going to take about 24 hours for us to get the approval of your payment account, or we will push back information to you of why we did not approve your payment account, and you can go in and make the adjustments to that. But keep in mind, without a payment account set up and without it being verified on RunSignup, you cannot take transactions. So you must have a payment account to launch your race website on RunSignup. Now that we're here at the final page, this is where our promotions kick in. We're going to go in a little more detail about promotions at the end of this webinar. So I'm just going to talk quickly through what you can check on this final page. We have automated emails in our system for incomplete registrations. So if somebody were to go through and start their registration and then back out, maybe because their kids are screaming and they need to go take care of them, or they forgot that they weren't ready yet and they want to register with a friend, so they don't finish it. they can get an email a couple days later reminding them to finish that email with a link to your registration. So it's a really cool feature that you'd want to enable just to make sure that you're not missing any opportunity to reach your participants. We also have price increase emails if you'd like to enable those, and a referral rewards program that is fantastic, and I will talk about that towards the end. So we're going to click save and finish. And once we do that, we are brought to the dashboard of your race. So we are now on the race dashboard. I want to point out a few things on this race dashboard, and then we're going to jump back into the PowerPoint. So the first thing I want to show you is what we've created. So we're going to view the website, and this is my race page. So I have my sign up button here. I have my 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 image here. I have my tracks. So this would say events if you just left it as a default. I have my track 1, my track 2, my track 102, my track 104. I have the place, race website, description, my Facebook is linked. And I also have this map of where the directions for the specific race that I put in there. So here's my race page. We are actually going to jump back to our race dashboard. And we're going to check out this menu search. So now that we know how we can view our website, we have this menu search that I want to show you. Now you see on the far left-hand side, there are so many different features. And if you click on one of them, you'll see it drops down to even more features. It can be overwhelming at first. It's perfectly okay and perfectly understandable that it is. There is a lot to learn. So we have this handy dandy menu search that I use every single day, and you can type in anything you'd like pertaining to your race, and more than likely it will pop up. So let's say that you're looking for coupons. We can type in coupon right here, and it's going to pop up everywhere that coupons are located within the race dashboard. So it's a super handy feature for you. Another handy feature of your race dashboard is this orange help button. It is on every single page within your race dashboard and race setup. You click on the help button and it's going to bring you directly to a tutorial for the specific page that you're on. It's fantastic and it's a great way to learn the platform. So those are a couple of things that I wanted to show you about the race dashboard. We're going to jump back in to our presentation really quickly, and then we're going to get into another demo. So now that we've gone through the race wizard, we're going to move on to the dashboard pro tips. I'm just kind of reiterating what we went over. This search bar is your best friend. Use it. Don't try to memorize where everything is. It's going to drive you crazy. Just use the search bar, type in what you're looking for. It's fantastic because even if you're used to a different platform or different terminology than what RunSignup might use, you can still type that in, such as a confirmation email versus a notification email. Two different things, but all the same. So you can type that in and it will still pop up. The help button, again, especially if you're in a bind and you can't get in touch with somebody and you just need to learn how to do it, that help button is going to give you the tutorial for that specific item that you're looking at on that page. And the tutorials are very detailed, so they will definitely get you what you need. The tutorials are also posted on runsignup.com. We have plenty of resources for you. We have hundreds of tutorials, how-tos that you can look through within this resource for you. And then last but not least, my favorite thing on RunSignup is the blog. If you want information, definitely go to this blog. RunSignup is very transparent with everything that we do, and we document everything that we do. It's fantastic. So it's anything from releases that are coming out, new features, testimonials by current race directors on the platform. Pretty much whatever you're looking for, you can probably find it in this blog, and you can find examples of different races that have been set up. It's a great resource to continue to go back to learn more about RunSignup. And now we're going to get into really digging in and customizing your page to make it look and feel the way you want it to. These 7 items are what we're going to go through within the RunSignup dashboard. I wanted to have them up here for you just really quickly. We're going to touch on all of this very quick. We're going to look at it, we're going to talk really quickly about it, and then move on. I do want to mention that we have either webinars or blog posts on majority of the items that are listed up here. So make sure that you look into that if you really want to fine tune your website. Now we're going to get back into that race page demo. So we're going to go back into our dashboard. And I want to remind you guys, this is what our current page looks like. So this is our RunSignup race page. This is where you would be brought to, and this would be the link that you would send to post on your website, post anywhere to have people register. So we're going to go into race page, and you're going to see these 7 items that we were talking about. So the first one is the race theme. This is an extension of step 5 in the race wizard. You're going to see some commonalities, and you're also going to see some additional items. So you can choose whether or not you want your navigation to be horizontal or vertical. You can adjust your design layout. You can add social media to your race page, and you can also add a tagline if you'd like, or even a countdown clock. So that is a step. We also have a color scheme, so you can adjust your color schemes to maybe one of the defaults that we have, or you can create your own. I used a default and essentially created my own. You can change your race logo here or add a different one. You can update your banner image. You can select from one of the banner images that we provide. And you can add custom wording to the 2 call to action buttons at the top of the page. The one that said sign up, and then if you have donations, the one that says donate. You can even add subtitles if you want to add a second language. This feature was released a couple of weeks ago, and it's so cool. And it's really helpful if you are serving multiple communities. So definitely use that. Moving on, we have our cool new cover pages. Well, I guess they're not too new these days. However, these cover pages really help you dive in and create the website that you're looking to do. So I want to remind you, this is what my race page looks like. Okay? We've seen it a lot now. I'm going to turn on my cover page. So I created this cover page before this webinar. So I now created a cover page, and now look what my race website looks like. Here's my cover page. So it's a bit different. I have these call to action buttons. I have little pictures, I have designs, and I have a website now. And I have these drop downs where I can go. I don't know, there we go. I have these drop downs where I can go and I can click on it, and I can then select that I want to learn more about it. So cover page is really cool. It really helps you design. We have an entire webinar on it, so I'm not going to go through much more. Domains is another one. We have an entire webinar, not a webinar, we have a blog post on domains and how you can add your domain. And this would be, let's say you purchase a domain from Google, Bluehost, or GoDaddy that is specific to your race, and you want your race to have that domain. Well, you would put that domain here, and we can link your domain to your race page, where you could go to www.runsignup101.com, and you would go directly to my cover page. It's a really cool feature. We then have our custom sections, which is what you see here in the drop downs. So you would create as many pages as you'd like, and then you would go to custom content display, and you can set them up to either display as menu items, display as a submenu item, or display directly on that race page. You can also change the order that they display. You can hide some of the default tabs that we have. So race info is a default. I hid that. I want to also hide track info because I don't have any content in there. So I hid that. And then my 7 steps are out of order, and I did this intentionally to show you how easy it is to just drag and drop. So easy. And last but not least, the layout. So this is pertaining to your race page if you do not create a cover page. You can go in and you can move, let's say, the description up above the race website, and we can save that, and now you have changed the order of your race page. And that is it for the race page customization. We're going to go back to the presentation. I know I went really quickly through that, and again, we are going to link every resource that we have for those specific items in this. So the last piece I want to talk about are the promotional features. The promotional features that we have on our platform that I specifically want to talk about are email marketing. We have a fantastic webinar going over the email marketing from automated emails, incomplete emails, to using our platform to send out all of your race emails. You can upload lists where you can then send out pre-scheduled emails. And you can also, if you have a MailChimp account, we integrated with MailChimp, so you can push your list to MailChimp. It's a fantastic feature. Again, I highly recommend it. It's a great way to get all of your data in one place. We have social marketing. It's a viral social marketing webinar that goes through the Facebook social sharing. It goes through referrals. It goes through a lot of the other features on our platform that will really help you engage your participants and get that interaction that you're looking for. And then our referral program. This is truly a gem in the registration world. This referral program, it invites community, it invites friends to join in, it encourages people to get out and move. It's fantastic. And it's all about giving back to your participants if they can get their friends to join. So we have anything from giving refunds for people that get their friends to join in. You could do a swag item, or you could stack them and give a swag item and a refund if they get enough people to join in on the fun. So that's definitely a webinar you don't want to miss. And now we are at questions. Now I'm gonna see if we do have any questions. And if we don't, it doesn't look like we have any questions right now. So if you do end up having questions, please feel free to send those over to me, and I will be more than happy to answer them for you. We will get back to you as soon as we hear from you. And thank you guys again for joining. This was great.